on a daily basis by their husbands or their partners. They can't see the way out. They don't want to report it. They don't want to go to court. This man has a platform, and I firmly believe, sorry for the dogs, that he is using that platform to perform these acts or whatever it is he's doing to other people. And he thinks, and he knows he's going to get away with it. Now, Joanne, don't ever say, well, she didn't go to the police or she pursued him or she contacted him afterwards, because you are denigrating every single woman who has ever been involved in something like this. So I'm not getting on your back about it, but you watch your words, Joanne, because you don't just affect the person that this has happened to. Your words affect every other woman, man, child who has ever been assaulted in any way. And that's really all I've got to say.
Thank you so much, RFC, and thank you very, very much for jumping in the box. Joanne, if you have a response to that, you're more than welcome. I can hear you, yeah. RFC, if you could just mute for 1 second, you could stay in the box. If you just put
Sorry, I'm just trying to figure out how to do that.
All right, I'll do it for you. I'll do it for you, and I'll actually, you need to find it. There's a little mic button down the bottom. There we go. Yeah, it's done. So go ahead, Joanne. What's your response to that?
I'm sorry, RFC, that you feel that I have even remotely suggested that women or pursue men or contact them afterwards, that would be okay. I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying is my advice would be to somebody that happened to would be to go to the police and not to social media and discuss it all over social media. Number one, obviously that could harm your case if that did indeed happen. What I'm saying is there is no proof to suggest that did happen. And I do feel for you that you've worked with a lot of women that's happened to. I also have met many women that's happened to, and I have supported many women that has happened to, and I do not condone it in any way, shape or form. What I am saying is the evidence is overwhelming to say that he did not pursue her, and people are saying that he pursued her and groomed her and was had predatory behaviour towards her. He didn't even know her. She pursued him, and that is my point here. And also, I do think on the flip side is that there are a lot of men that get falsely accused that I'm sure you've worked with as well, being an ex-police officer. And I think that men have a right to say that did not happen if it did indeed not happen. I think it's unfair that we just look at it from a woman's perspective, making allegations, and if that did happen, that's absolutely terrible. If it didn't happen, then
okay.
The flip side of that men should not be wrongly accused either, and we will never know unless there is a trial and something happened. But like I said, it's an allegation. It's not fact, and I don't think it's fair to say that somebody has something.
Tina, sorry, Joanne. I'm gonna just leave that there for a second. RFC, I'm gonna give you a chance to respond. Socks, you have been waiting for a while. If you would like to have a say now, you can.
Isn't it true you're a paid moderator, Joanne? Are you paid by Paul to moderate? Is this correct?
Am I paid by Paul to moderate?
Yeah.
I don't moderate for Paul.
Oh, you don't?
No,
okay, well, you seem to be defending him like he's your own son or something. And the fact that you kind of, I'm speaking, don't overspeak me. Please don't do that. So I'll get it to you very clear.
Sorry,
when a girl at 19 years old, do you think she knows what to do when it comes to being attacked and gaslighted and manipulated and groomed into a position where she can't say no?
I don't think that...
I'm not asking what your opinion is. I'm asking, do you know what that feels like as a 19-year-old? Do you? Then no, you can't speak for that girl. How she reports and what she says, you cannot speak for her. Only she can speak for herself. And these bullying tactics that you're doing, coming across as a sweet, kind person, the gaslighting and manipulation, trying to target people, saying that they're doing something wrong when they're just sharing awareness through experience and what they do. Is that a wrong thing to do?
I think sharing awareness of things that you haven't got the facts for.
Well, they have got the facts because we've all seen the facts. And so I think in some ways, maybe when you wear your rose tinted glasses, maybe you can't see the truth because no perfect Paul not sitting here rubbing his, I'm speaking, please don't interrupt. When you're sitting here rubbing your groin in front of known kids are watching, little kids who come along to say to their parents, hey, mum, look at this, look who I'm watching. And the parents see what they're seeing. Do you not think that's a bit of a regular behaviour for you to defend something like, do you not have kids or grandkids yourself?
Am I allowed to answer or do you...
You can send me as much as you like, but I was asking you a question.
You've asked me 3 questions so far, and every time I try and answer, you don't let me answer. So that
Oh, no, I was making a statement on that one, so that's okay. But now I'm asking you a question.
Right. When I see Paul, I have seen Paul rub his groin, just the same as I've seen Michael Jackson and things, and people have come...
You saw Michael Jackson lift his pants up. He didn't rub his groin.
Well, people have suggested that, you know... that.
So you've not seen it yourself then?
Like
So you're assuming Michael Jackson rubbed his groin from the dead? Because he doesn't do that no more due to him not being alive, unfortunately. But yeah, you're saying that he rubbed his groin when he just lifted his pants up.
Right. What I'm suggesting is that people have suggested that he is like Michael Jackson because
Right.
he has touched his groin when he...
But I'm not asking about people, I'm asking about you.
You're asking about me, whether I think it's appropriate for somebody to touch...
Do you think it's appropriate that Paul does that in front of young kids?
I would never...
So why compare him to Michael Jackson? I don't get that. We're not talking about Michael Jackson, we're talking about Paul here. So do you think it's okay for a grown man for 44 years old, having 10-year-olds, watch a man perform acts in a manner that way because he's dancing to a song?
So I thought that you was referring to the post where somebody compared him to Michael Jackson for touching his groin.
No, I never said anything about that. You said that, not me.
Well, I did, yeah. I thought that that's what you
No,
were...
Michael Jackson was never mentioned in the first place. I asked you a question of, do you think it's appropriate for a 44-year-old man dancing in front of a screen, rubbing his groin?
Well, I don't think it's appropriate for anybody to...
So why do you support him then?
Yeah. Because it's...
Why do you watch a man? In fact, if you care about him that much, why don't you turn around and say to him, that's not appropriate, Paul?
Do you know how many times I have spoken to Paul about I have absolutely said, Paul, listen, if I was you, I wouldn't ever have anybody in your box that was under like 25. And he said, then they'd said that I will groom 25-year-olds. I said, well, I wouldn't have anybody in your box under 40 then, and we laugh about it. I have literally given Paul advice, and he's basically anybody over 18 he thinks it's okay to speak to.
But there's that. Well, that's the whole thing. There's kind of condescending what you're saying there because they're not over 18s much in his life. These are people that are young children, 10, 11, 12 years old. They're sharing that stuff around school. Did you not know that? Do you know schools have been warned about this person?
I'm not sure what
Did you not know that? You see, because people like Zoe and other people that make awareness on Paul share this information. They share the fact that schools have had talks about Paul Breach and him standing outside the schools trying to talk to kids. He hasn't got kids, has he? So why would he need to go to a school to stand outside and go and watch the kids? Do you not find that a bit inappropriate behaviour?
Can I answer that question? He has never been outside of schools.
Oh, okay then. So when the schools have made notices about it, did he make it up? Did he go, oh look, there's a figure of Paul Breach. He's standing across the road. Do you not think they get notified about this stuff? Do you not think there's cameras there?
Yeah, well, we did contact both schools around that and spoke to...
But yet you said he didn't do that, but why contact the schools if they didn't do it?
We wanted to ask why on earth that had been said, and they said that obviously the local police had had a report from somebody down south that had a report saying that there was a guy on the park talking to children, and they have a duty of care to make sure that all people are aware that there are strange people in the area talking to children in the park. He never talked to people in that park.
But he just stands there and watches them instead.
There's absolutely no reason on this earth that Paul breaches.
But you just, no, you kind of contradicted yourself there, so that's why I'm going to interrupt. You've just said there's no evidence of that, but then you just turned around and called the schools about it.
Because
You talk waffle, love. I suggest you drop from the box, love, and walk away. Because at the end of the day, with the truth and evidence of it all there, it backs up your lies. So I'm going to suggest you go and talk to Paul and come up with some other crap. Because at the end of the day, you're talking absolute waffle.
When was the last time you spoke to Paul?
I text Paul this morning.
And are you aware of the video I tried to put up last night, which lasted all of 5 minutes?
I asked Paul, I texted him this morning and said, Paul, do you mind? I said, I know Tony is a lovely person. I said, do you mind if I ring him and actually tell him, you know, the sort of, tell him about your mental health and tell him about sort of the story really. And he said, yes, please, if you could, I would appreciate that. And that's why I tried to, well, I said, could you ring me on your, on the thread? And you said, can you come in the box? And I come in the box.
I've never heard so much waffle.
Well, I'm sorry.
Yeah, but you are speaking waffle. You're defending a man who thinks it's inappropriate not to like sit there and dance in front of kids. But yeah, it's okay to do that. What if it happened to one of your kids or grandkids? Would you be saying this then? How would you feel knowing your kids or grandkids could be struggling like this? You don't know, do you? Because you're too busy up someone else's backside. Take your head out his ass and go and look at real life. Because at the end of the day, you've been groomed too, love. And your ignorance is just laughable. Go and tell him that from me. Tell him I said hello.
I am not ignorant in any way. I have researched and I have literally...
Now, you're just as bad, love. You're just as bad. Because if you support someone like that, it kind of makes you a little bit of a wronging supporter, an enabler. Because, poor Paul. How about the poor kids? How about that poor girl? You're going to say poor them? Or are they just making up lies?
You know what I find disturbing, yeah? Is that as a fully grown adult, having a little argument on an Instagram message with Paul, right? That the guy was making comments saying that when I do meet up with him, can we have cuddles? Can he take my mask off? Inappropriate comments which make me think even more so that he does this to younger people. Do you know what I mean? Like, and I can prove that it's all backed up within the messages. Do you know what I mean? I'm having a dispute argument with a guy, and he's making comments like that.
Is that what he said to you?
Yeah, that's what he was saying to me. Do you know what I mean about cuddles? Can we play Twister? Can we play Twister? Can we do all of this? So he was enticing me to go up there, and I ended up saying to him, "Listen, just tell me to come up, and I'll come." But he wouldn't say it with his own words. Do you know what I mean? That ain't a sense of humour. That ain't a sense of what? Telling a fully grown geezer, "Oh, when we see each other, can I pull your mask off?"
Can you imagine what it would feel like to have the whole of the country attacking you?
Fuck, I don't care what other people say that winds him up. You don't say that to a guy that's having an argument with you. You don't say, "Do you want to have cuddles? Do you want to play Twister?"
How would you respond to a random man ringing you or contacting you on Instagram suggesting that they want to meet you because they think that you're a predator?
The fucking geezer was the first. He messaged me first after we had the first thing, and then he come back to me talking about my life. Yeah, that's why it got into that subject.
Yeah, but honestly, that's his sense of humour.
That ain't no sense of humour. Do you know what I mean? The geezer's a predator, and in my eyes, he's a paedophile. On that note, I'm out.
All the best, no face. All the best.
Probably, you know, I don't think there's any winning in this, Tony. I think that situation is all I can say is that I have supported Paul for his mental health over this last year.
Mental health? Are you having a laugh? Another person mocking mental health? Sweetheart, I work within mental health, and when I see people like this mocking mental health, it makes me feel sick.
Can you tell me?
Do you know why? Do you know how many people are struggling every day?
Sorry, Joanna.
Can I ask why on earth you would think that would be mocking mental health?
He is mocking mental health because he's a natural groomer. He uses manipulation and tactics to bring young people into things because these young people are innocent. They don't expect some guy on the internet to try and groom them, to try to make them their little play toy. No, they don't, because they're innocent little people. And people like you enabling this are just as bad as him. So you talk about mental health. Go and ask them poor kids. Go and ask Gracie for how her mental health is. Fuck his mental health. Go and help the real people.
He's been very, very suicidal, and I'm very
Oh, well, I'm sorry. If he is, but that's due to his own actions. And if he was suicidal, would he have done it by now? Let me give you some information about suicide. Hush your mouth a minute. Let me give you some information about suicide. They don't speak about it. They just do it. Yes, they do. Trust me. They do. I have experienced it, unfortunately, way too much in my line of work. And I'll tell you something like this now, Mrs. When they try to plan it, they do it. They plan it. Some people just jump off a bridge. Some people just take their own lives.
Sorry, Socks. Mods, are we watching these comments coming in? Can we get these comments blocked, please, and get that word added to the block list? Come on, mods, wake up. Sorry, Socks.
No, it's fine. I think so many
Guys,
people.
I'm about to say it one more time. I'm modding every single one of you. Can you not see the word that's coming up there? Can you get that word out of there, please? Someone's using the N-word multiple times in here. How are you not seeing it?
So many people struggle in silence. They feel ashamed. They don't know where to go for help half the time. So many people put a mask on and they pretend they're okay. They're not okay half the time. They do it to survive. So you sit there with your Paul. How many times has he threatened to take his own life? How many times?
Can I just address what you said?
Can you just ask the question, please? How many times has he tried to take his own life?
One thing at once. What you throw.
Well, I just want to know that question. How many times has he said it?
Well, I'm trying to write down to answer your question, answer what you've said so far. So if I can go through it, I'd appreciate that, because people are throwing things at me and not allowing me a chance to speak back and address it. So you kind of, I need to address that. That's very untrue that people will have a thought about suicide.
Oh, excuse me? Oh, yes, they will. Do you know how many times people have gone, the thoughts just across my mind because of the way they've been feeling? They can act from day to day like they're fine, and the next thing they get an intrusive thought and go, I'm done with life, and they'll go and do it due to their poor mental health.
Socks, I understand that. I'm a mental health first aider. I run.
You are?
I run one of the biggest mental health groups in the world.
Wow.
And I run an active mental health group for adults, and I run a mental health group for children.
But yet you support someone who grooms children.
What I'm saying to you, yeah, and please don't use your narrative to suggest.
But it's true though, he grooms children. It's the state of the facts. He's never groomed a child. Never. You are. I hope you walk away from your job because you are letting the mental health system down. You should be ashamed of yourself. Proper ashamed of yourself.
Okay, so
I can't talk to this wrong.
Can I just say, like, in an ideal world, yeah, the content he has on his channel, if that was a movie or a film, it is a rated film.
It would be rated 100%.
It is a rated film. This is a 13+ app. You cannot come away from the evidence. The dancing and the content he is creating would be a rated movie if it was a movie. So can you answer this question to me then? How can you find that acceptable on a platform which is 13+? Because if it was a movie, it would be rated.
Well, can I say something? Even though it doesn't make a difference with the extra year, but it's actually a 12+.
Exactly.
Can I just ask one question quickly, and I'm going to jump?
Yeah, go ahead, Happy Mama. Sorry, you go ahead.
Joanne, can I just ask a question?
And by the way, Joanne, if you feel comfortable at any time, you can ask me to drop down, or you can drop down. Just speak to one of the mods. You can jump out at any time. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a difficult. Like I said, I'm not very well, Tony.
But what I'm saying to you is, if you need to jump down, just ask one of the mods. There's mods in here that have access. I'm going to come away from the screen for a second. And by the way, people, I don't want anyone bullying anyone or ganging up on anyone, please. Listen, speak as adults or don't speak at all, yeah? If anyone misbehaves in this box, you will be kicked out, okay? We're not going to have no situations.
I just want to ask one question. I'm going to jump. Somebody else can jump up. Joanne,
Yes.
has Paul ever stayed at your address?
Has Paul ever stayed at my address? No.
He's never stayed in your family home?
No. My family home
Okay.
is like at the moment is a bomb site. It's literally I am living in my bedroom while it's being renovated. So definitely not. He's never slept at my house.
Okay. That's all I wanted to ask. I'll leave everybody else now.
Sorry,
Thank you for answering.
Joanne, I've got a quick question for you. I'm on my lunch and I just need to drop off. I've just got a quick question. You stated that his mental health is really bad.
Yeah.
Now, if his mental health is that bad, why is he coming on daily baiting the whole internet?
I think that he has to come on the internet because that's his living, and if he doesn't...
No, you're not answering my question, Joanne. I asked why he's baiting the internet if his mental health is that bad.
Right. A lot of people use the internet as a relief when they've got...
Nah, bullshit! He's riding the wave, Joanne, of this clout to get more views and more money from underage gifters. Now, that leads me on to you. Do you think it's acceptable he's accepting gifts? Do you think it's acceptable he's accepting gifts from underage users?
Well, I weren't aware that he's accepting gifts of underage.
Well, it's all over the internet. You only need to look at his gifters in his live, Joanna, and it's there. If his mental health is that bad, why is he on the internet baiting? Attracting more hate.
Mods. Can someone do a quick favour, yeah, and just fucking drop everyone out of the box and just have one in at a time with this lady, because it's getting to the point now where fucking everyone's just chucking stuff at her. It ain't fair. Obviously, I know Tony ain't meant that. But fucking thing.
Yeah, I agree. I asked a question ages ago.
Well, I don't know who's coming up to speak with who.
That's why I said Tony ain't got a clue. Tony, can you do me a favour and mod me quickly, bro?
I don't know who's
Everyone needs dropping, but perhaps we could just all speak one at a time.
Yeah.
I don't know who's with Joanne and who's not with Joanne. This box request is just here. People that I've accepted could be supporting Joanna. I don't know. So
no. What I'm saying is no one can hear her. With everyone going on, no one can hear her. That's what they're saying.
We're not gonna. That's what I did say before I came off screen. We're not gonna have no shouting match at anyone here. Joanna has had her say. Yeah, everyone is entitled to their say and their opinions. Okay. This is not to victimize Joanna. This is not to do with Joanna. Joanna, if you want to drop at any time, you're more than welcome. I don't want 5, 6, 7 people shouting at you at the one go. I'm not going to do that. If you have a question for Joanna, please ask a question. No shouting or anything, please. Yeah.
Tony, would it be all right if I speak, please?
Yeah, go ahead, Zoe. Right, Zoe. This obviously, I take it this is going to be at Joanna. Yeah, this is going to be speaking to
please.
Joanna.
First of all, massive respect for you, Tony, and everything you do. And I've been reposting out everything that you do, and I agree with everything that's going on. And I am more than happy to help in any way that I can.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you very, very much. All right, go ahead with your
Yeah, sure. So Joanne, right, I'm not feeling great at the moment, so I got told that you were on here. My name was mentioned, so I've just come in because of that. Do you agree that most of the kids that he talks to on there are under the age of 18, that he's got a particular type?
Sorry, what do you mean?
He has a particular type. When he, right,
Joanne, you're going to need to come a little bit closer. Sorry, because quite a few people if you can possibly come a little bit closer, because quite a few people are saying they can't hear proper. I don't know if you can.
Is your phone on the side or something, facing down?
If you're suggesting that I think he's got an attraction to children, no, definitely not. I've spoken to Paul, and definitely, absolutely, 100% has never ever given me any impression that he would be attracted to anybody.
but the thing is, you could be a teacher, Joanne, you could be a police officer, you could be working in any kind of industry, and you could be like perfect, you could have a good CBS check done, but it doesn't mean that there isn't like creaks and cracks in the floor. This man, and I will tell you from what I've witnessed since I've been doing my campaign against Paul, He always talks to underage girls. It's either the 18-year-olds or he gets them to lie about their age. I have sent all my information and proof over to Soxy, who passed it on to No Face. Now, this man I have proven it. I watched one girl in his chat. She was 16 and she changed her age to 18 because he said, oh, I can't add you back if I don't see your age in the profile. Now, I can tell you for a fact, he checks everyone. He does mine. When I was undercover, when I was decoy account, that's what he does. He does check.
He checks that every single person in his life is under 18, over 18.
No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. There was a girl as young as 9 gifting him. There was a few girls that I found.
His life, if he chats to anybody, he will always say, are you over 18? I will not chat to anybody.
But he manipulates them. He sends them over to Instagram and Snap. He asks them for pictures of themselves. You can't argue with that.
The guy can't win though, can he? Because when he's actually trying to prove himself to you guys by saying that he daren't, he absolutely daren't.
Joanne, I have actually spoken physically to Paul and I've told him, you need to get your mods to sort this out. You need to put 18 plus on. Why? Why should I do that? It's my choice. Why do you need it to be under 18? Because you know the money's all coming in from the underage kids. He can't deny that. He is taking kids' pocket monies. I've watched it. I've got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of underage kids that are subscribed to him, that are gifting him, that he's talking to. You can't deny that. I've got the screenshots and I can prove what I am saying is true. And then there's the vulgar behaviour. The filth that he does online. He's sitting there talking suggestively. Tony, he's even had, right, an OnlyFans woman in there. They could have had that conversation away from that, and they were being really filth. This was quite a while back. He's had these young girls that he's talking to in the box, and he's being suggestive all the time. Then he's getting them to call him daddy. Then he's gone on about mummy's milk, daddy's milk. When I did my decoy account, this is the most disturbing one. I was Claire Bell. He said, he sang a song which was called I Feel It Coming, which was by The Weeknd. Everyone knows what the innuendo is. He was singing it and he muted me, so I could not respond. He waited for that song to finish, then he spoke to me.
On the radio?
Yeah. He done.
Do you write to Ofcom and ask them to remove that song from the radio?
But it's him that's being filth.
Like,
people are going to listen to the song, and that ain't the problem. It's the way that he did it, and this is what you're failing to understand, Joanne. It's the way he does things. He was being filth. He said to her, right, Joanne, he said to Joanne, right, Joanne, if you just let me finish, right, because I will give you the same respect. When that song finished, he even went on to say, oh, go and have special cuddle times with mummy and daddy. Why does he need to say that? Then she said, oh, I don't have another sister, this Claire Bell, my decoy account, but she has a big brother. Oh, you've been looking at your brother in the shower. Naughty, disgusting. You're a wrong un. This is what he does. And then he even got one of my lives at Tony Stop when we did a mass report on his account, because I found so many underage kids. We were all in there coming back into my life and going back in and out of his account. And he got my account banned. And he said, oh, all of you should be really worried. She's looking at underage kids. No, I'm not looking under it. And do you know what makes me ill, right? I am a victim of rape, right? Multiple rape. For 3 years of my life. This is why I do what I do. And to watch that piece of shit do that online and accuse me, and it come up my violation for grooming.
Right, can we do me a favour? Can we watch some of the wording that we're using as well,
Sorry,
please?
Tanya, I do apologise, sorry.
I know it's upsetting for you and a lot of people, and people, please believe me, yeah, I'm looking to terminate this whole live feed very, very shortly, because it is triggering for a lot of people. There's a lot of people waiting to come in, and there's a lot of people in the boxes already. So I just want to just remind people that this page is still, this platform is still under it. So if you can please minimize any of the swearing down and try to keep certain words, if we can try to just change certain words if we can.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm absolutely sorry.
I do not want any under 18s in this chat, and I just want to pick up a point that someone made. Could it not save a lot of hassle? And also I've asked someone to help me set it on my account. Someone did say that setting it to 18s, you can do that. I didn't know that until a couple of days ago. So can he not just set it to over 18s? I mean, if he's got all of these rumors and stuff flying about, would it not benefit him a bit more to show that he's putting some steps in place? He is trying to do something. And Joanne, I've got to be fair with Zoe here. Only a couple of days ago, I did witness a young girl gifting his account. I did witness that myself firsthand. I think it was after I watched the video, someone else said to me, they're live now, and I watched it for a little bit, and I did see what Joanne is saying. But Joanne, any of that proof that's said on here, anything you've said on here, if there's proof, please message me and send it over to me, yeah?
This is the question that I asked Tony, and I asked Joanna it earlier, if this was a movie, the content that he creates, it would be a rated movie. So if you're not even setting your lives to 18 plus, Joanna, do you not think that in reality, in the real world, it would be a rated movie? So do you not think that maybe him having children in there isn't right?
The TikToks that I've seen of Paul are very silly dancers and very, he might do, he might wink or whatever. The lady earlier on, the police officer said that she was very concerned. I wrote it down here because he winked and then he raised his eyebrows, and I think, and then and he did a dance and touched his crotch, and I think that there's thousands of people on pop videos and stuff that he probably copies dances and stuff. He couldn't win even when he's just.
Joanna, I agree with you, but Magic Mike is a rated movie. And a lot of how he dances on his platform, Paul, is what is presented in Magic Mike, and it is a rated movie.
And let's not
No, can I just cut in here as well and say, Joanne, newsflash, he is not an international music artist.
Okay, right.
Is a
One second. Can we get Chelsea and Zoe to mute yet for 1 second? I think that was Jelly. Jelly, now listen, Joanne, I do feel like I'm gonna need to take you out of the box at some point, because
absolutely fine, because what's gonna happen?
The reason only for your own benefit, Joanne, because I feel like that everyone is gonna be in here. They're gonna have an opinion against you, and
you're totally right.
I've got 18 people waiting to come in, and I'm not gonna sit about and have 18 people come at you with all different sorts of questions, and only for your own self. I'm going to pull you out of the box.
And Tony, that I will speak to Paul. I didn't know that there was an 8 you could set your. I mean, that's only because I don't do many lives. But setting it to 18 plus, I think that would be a really good idea for him. The only thing I can think that would be an obstacle is that that's his only income now, because people have slated him across the internet that that's his only income. So if he did do that, his income might drop, and then he wouldn't be able to
But he
survive.
shouldn't be getting from children's anyway. He shouldn't be getting an income from under 18s anyway.
Sorry, Tony, can I just ask Joanne before you let her drop?
Yeah, sure.
By your own admission, Joanne, you have said that Tony is a very nice guy. And by the way, big up, Tony, to everything you and the team are doing.
Thank you.
You have said that Tony is a very nice guy and he is very fair. I feel that you've put yourself in this position unfairly. What you should have done is encouraged Paul to come on here and speak with Tony himself. If he has proof that goes against all the allegations that are made against him, which let's take Pedlo and all that stuff out of the equation, at the very least, this man is responsible for financially grooming minors in a big way. You've just admitted that yourself by saying that if he turned his lives to 18 plus, he would lose a large chunk of his income, which means a large chunk of his income is coming from vulnerable minors. So why didn't you encourage him to come on and speak? Tony will turn the comments off. He wouldn't let anybody else in the box, and he would give Paul a fair opportunity to defend himself against what's being said.
If Joanna, if you want to jump out, Call Paul.
Before I go then, Tony, can I answer that? Because she's asked me a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so in regards to that, what I've just said is that I personally think that 18 plus would be a great idea for Paul. What I'm saying is that when I said that to him, I don't know if he would agree to that, because a lot of his income, a lot of young people do follow him. You know, there's nearly 1 million people on his, and he's not going to know, you know, sort of who's watching the videos and who's not.
Yeah, he does.
The videos, you get money from them, don't they? So I can't guarantee that he will do that, but I think it's a great idea. As for financially grooming children,
I asked him this in the Instagram message and he refused. I've already mentioned this to him, Tony, and he's refused to do it. He's turned around and said,
but then he's encouraging. Now, I would sooner not have like any income off minors. Like, please believe me. Yeah, no, I totally understand. You've just confirmed. You have just confirmed from what I have heard, and I don't know if anyone else has heard it. You've just confirmed
by her own admission.
Paul has said that his income is based on
primarily on minors.
On minors, and that to me is.
That's me who said that. He's never said that. I'm assuming that there's a lot of young people that watch his videos and that it might affect his income. I said that. Paul's never ever said that to me.
Well, if Paul is now aware of this, Paul should then put some steps in place to know that his content is coming across inappropriate, his behavior, his way of what he's doing, what he's been accused of, and it's up to him to take the appropriate actions to stop with these rumors. Now, if you want, please hear me. You're more than welcome to jump down and ring Paul, call him, ask him if he wants to join me in. No one else in the boxes, comments off.
I can't imagine in a million years that he'd dare to, that he'd get annihilated.
No. Wait, listen, please. Joanna, I give you my word, and I mean this, and you've said already I'm fair, yeah? And I'm trying to be as fair as I can with you as well. This box is waiting for 17 people to come in, and I've refused to let anyone else come in because I don't want people shouting and aiming at you, okay?
I can ask him, Tony. I can ask him.
If you want to jump out, and you're more than welcome to come back and let me know yes or no, but you can
not
give...
very well, Tony. I shouldn't have even... The only reason I did this was for you.
No, that's fine. You can give him my word. You can give him my word that there will not be one person to come into these boxes apart from me and him. I will listen to his side and I will give him my opinions on what I've heard. I'm more than happy to listen to his reasons, his talk. If you want to do that, you can take time and see what he says. That's not a problem. If he refuses, he refuses. But I can assure you that no one else will come in the boxes and no comments will be on during the conversation.
It would definitely give him the opportunity to get his side.
It would give him the opportunity for people to have a clear listen to what is being said, because now, and the reason he might say, well, I don't need to explain myself to Tony. I don't need to come into Tony's chat, but you've aimed 2 videos at me, Paul. He's aimed 2 videos at this group.
Nobody ever texts, never ever listen to him. It don't matter if he justifies it, if he puts, if he explains, people like the 17-year-old, he were in love with him, went out with for years and years. That's not grooming. That's not anything like that, and he had a loving relationship with it. Nobody ever says that. Actually, she was very happy with him. She's never ever come up with any, talking about any abuse or anything like that. She's a very intelligent, bright, mature, wonderful lady.
Have you spoken with her, Joanne?
Yeah, but didn't he get with this girl when she was 16 and she had a baby at 17?
No, he got.
Do you actually know her?
Isn't that correct that he got with this girl at 16 and had a baby with her at 17?
I can't speak to you.
Yeah, she may have been 17 when she had the baby.
No, she was 1 week of 18.
But was she 16 when they got together? She was just turning 17, correct?
She was 17. He met her at work. He didn't know a family or anything like that. He didn't groom her. He fell in love with her at work.
And you know her, Joanne?
I don't personally know her, no.
Oh, right, okay, so that completely negates that point. And just to touch on that, to address something that you said earlier, you spoke about the fact that nobody went to the police, and obviously if something had been done, she had a duty to go to the police because they're the people that would deal with it. Can I just ask, because you obviously seem very well educated and very well versed on the subject, do you know what the percentage of successful prosecutions are against rape and SA allegations when they go to the police?
Yes, it's very low.
It's less than 1%. Less than 1%. So realistically, if a female could come to social media and tell her story on social media, why would she do that? Why would she not do that rather than go to the police and risk facing the kind of prejudice and discrimination that you're showing right now with your words?
Exactly that, Belly, because at the end of the day, the geezer's got a large following, which obviously puts people off from doing anything. Like she keeps stating, he's got nearly 1 million followers.
Now, and ultimately, as a woman, you should be more concerned with protecting victims. I know as a woman myself, I would rather be guilty of believing a woman that lied than believing a predator that did what he said he'd done.
Joanne, if I may interrupt before you answer that, please. Yeah, I'm going to give you time to jump out of the box, speak with Paul. If he wants to come in here, I will wait on a little bit longer. If he wants to come in here, he can put his side across. Now, let me put it this way to you. From what I have heard in this box, what I have seen on some of his content and some of his videos, I won't argue with him in these box. In this box, I'll give my opinions. I'll let him have his say. No one else will be in the boxes. No comments will be switched on. Speak with him and let me know. And what I will guarantee you that I will then make the decision whether to proceed or not with this up and down the country post a campaign against Paul, because everyone's other videos and stuff gets taken down. So I'm going to give him a chance. I'll let you have a talk with him and I'm going to give you a chance and then we can decide there. But I just want to hear his side first.
And it should be very easy, Tony, because Joanne has already said that he has got irrefutable proof against the allegations that have been made. So if that's the case, he doesn't need to come on and talk about what people believe, what people's opinions are. He comes on, shows the proof that disproves everything that's been said about him and goes. It's as simple as that. And Joanne said he's got that, so it shouldn't even be in question.
Right, so let me just say this to you, Joanne, yeah? So after me saying to Paul about his life being riddled with minors, yeah? He's replied to me. I said, your lives have been riddled with minors. He says, oh, are you looking at minors? Dirty old you, dirty no face, naughty you. What sort of fucking reply is that?
And that's what he does every time.
Well, that's his sense of humour, apparently, no face, because everybody loves a creepy sense of humour, don't they?
Right. Right, listen. We're going to get. Listen. We pretty much spoke about everything we can speak about. Joanne, I will allow you a bit of time to speak with Paul. Yeah.
I can't imagine that it will. But what I can say to you is, please remember what I told you, that Paul phoned me a while ago and asked me if he kills himself, which he had a plan in place, Tony. He had a plan in place to kill himself. And he told me, would I share his story when he dies?
Yeah, well...
I've got no proof of his story, Joanne. You've just said that. And I'm not being funny. That's emotional manipulation. You shouldn't be putting that on Tony or anybody else that's in this live. And that's disgusting that you're doing that, quite frankly.
Sorry, Kelly, can I just pipe up there? All I'm going to say to that, Joanne, is there'll be one less wrong on this earth. And if you want to do that...
If you ask me, if what you said to me, I can answer it in this way. And I'll try to answer it in this way only. If you ask me to choose a child's life over PB's life, the child's life is the one that's getting saved.
You're right.
But are you basing that on literally because children...
I'm basing that from what I've said, what I've seen, separate stuff. And that's why I'm basing that on the fact that he's been asked by multiple people to do certain things that can stop these children being in there. And in your words yourself, you said he can't get a job. His income is based on that sort of age group.
I don't think he's tried to get a job, but I think that he was very unconfident, thinking that if he got a job somewhere, people would just mob him, wouldn't they? If he got a job at coffee shop, every single one of you guys would drive down there and smash that coffee shop.
No, they wouldn't. Let's be honest, he doesn't want to get a proper job because he makes easy money financially grooming children on TikTok.
I want everyone out of the boxes. Everyone apart from Joanna. I want everyone out of the boxes apart from Joanna, please. I want everyone out of the boxes apart from Joanna. Sorry, people, just bear with me. Sorry, people, I'm not being ignorant. I'm not being ignorant with no one. Yeah, I'm not being ignorant with no one. I just want everyone out of the boxes.
Tony, sorry.
No, you don't got to be sorry. I would just want to have one final quick chat with Joanna before we go. Yeah, Joanna, listen.
They smashed my window, Tony, just for inviting him to a ball. So can you imagine if he worked somewhere? They'd target him, they'd be outside and they'd be lynching him. He wouldn't, somebody's probably going to stab him or do something really bad to him one day. Because the amount of hatred towards him is absolutely overwhelming, isn't it?
But the thing about it is, Joanna, listen, from what is being shown about this man, this don't look good. There is no space in this world for people that behave inappropriately towards minors. As far as I'm concerned, there is no space, there's no oxygen for them.
But you're still suggesting that he has done something towards minors.
So from what I've seen, I can make my opinion. Like I said, listen, please, I'll leave this live feed run. We are going to leave here in about 20 minutes, 30 minutes. Yeah, we are going to leave here in about 20 minutes, 30 minutes. You can drop out. I will drop you out of here. I will let some other people in the boxes have a quick chat with him and just come back in, even in the comments, if you don't want to jump back up, even in the comments and say he said no or whatever. But please,
I just said, Paul, Tony, that if he said no, what's going to happen is people are going to then say, I didn't dare come on, he couldn't face people and all that, when actually if he comes on, they're going to lynch him. So again...
But you keep saying lynch him. Right now, Joanna, it's me and you talking.
Yeah.
Can you see any comments?
No, you're absolutely... Honestly...
Is anyone speaking over you right now or speaking to you apart from me?
No.
Well, this will be the same exact thing that happens with Paul. It'll be just me and him, no comments, no one in the boxes. He's not going to get absolutely lynched. He can jump out and leave at any time. Rest assured, if them comments come on at any time, yeah, I will unmod everyone and leave only Olivia on.
Tony, though, can you imagine from his perspective? He's had everybody and the dog grill him like a burger on every single question that's already been asked today. He's already gone over every single one about 1 million times on his lives with different people. Everybody's asked him and he's given same answers and same, that he didn't do this, he didn't do that, and he's never got any further with that. So you would just be another person that is just absolutely like grilling him and asking him questions. And
well, I won't grill him. I would just like him to come in and say, look, this is why I don't do this. This is why I don't do that. He can run his own conversation with me. Yeah, I'm not here to shout at him. I'm not here to grill him. I'm not here to.
I know you're not. You're lovely, Tony.
I'm not here to do that, Joanne. The same way as I've said to you multiple times, I'm not allowing any more people in the boxes to come at you. I'm trying to protect yourself as well, and anyone else. This is not what this page is about. Yeah, this is not what this page has ever been about. Yeah, but this campaign is to try to spread awareness up and down the country for parents that may not be aware that there's potential grooming going on with the kids online, and this is all that this has ever been about and is about.
It's not grooming children online. He might have accepted some gifts, just like every other creator's probably not turned their under 18s off and accepted gifts. That's not a crime. It's actually totally legal on TikTok, and every other creator does it. I think it's a good idea for him to have 18 plus. Whether he'll listen to me or not is.
But you did say he already said why should he? And if that's
no,
his.
He never said that to me. I've never had
if that's his sort of, if that's his, like, with certain things that he said to you, like, and his response to most things is, why should I, or why should I? Nothing's going to ever change in his situation. Listen, the opportunity is there. I don't mean that in a disrespectful way.
I've seen a lot of people slating you this last week.
Yeah, of course, of course, 100%. But I've came back on, and I've jumped in and had my say in there. If this,
people are saying that you should stop this behaviour, but you're saying, why should I?
no, but the thing about it is, what I'm saying to you, Giovanna, yeah, if he puts the age restriction on that, and if his mods try to filter out who may be young and who may not be, but
I agree.
do you understand that it could save a lot of hassle for him?
Totally right. I think that would save him from any of this moving forward. I think it'd be really helpful. I think it's a brilliant idea, and I'll put it forward to him. Like I said, whether or not he does that or not, I can't guarantee whether he will or he won't. But I do know that his sole income is from TikTok, and that would mean that that's his choice. I don't know how many young people he's got on his lives or whatever watching that's creating that funds for him. I don't know, and like I said, I don't even bother with gifts and things like that. He never asks us for a gift. He never asks us for anybody to send him anything. I've never seen him ever say, "Can you send me a gift?" Ever. He's never groomed or manipulated any child to send him a gift. And people again are trying to make out he's like absolutely crippling young people's pocket money. The guy never even asks us for you to tap the screen or send him anything. So it's just not true, is it?
But if, listen, it's bad in itself. If he knows that the biggest percentage of his followers may be of a young age, that is quite bad in itself. If whether he asks for gifts or not, that in itself is bad, because he shouldn't knowingly accept it from people he believes to be underage.
But you don't get any gifts, does he? If you're looking, when you watch his live, if you go in his gifter thing, he's probably had like 2 or 3 hundred diamonds sent by an adult. I've never ever seen a child gift him. And he's never asked for a gift ever. Literally, you can watch a million of his lives, and he has never ever said, "Can you send?" And not even to adults anyway. He don't ask for gifts, Tony. So
well, I have seen. Well, then, if that's the case, then if you've never seen any children gifting, what effect then is him putting 18 plus on that account going to have? If there's no kids gifting him, turning it to 18 plus won't affect him, will it?
I agree with you. I don't know if it affects the algorithm with the watching. I don't know. I'm assuming that if people stopped watching, the algorithm would slow down or whatever. But I'd rather. I mean, if it were up to Paul, I think that he'd be able to. I think that walking away from TikTok would be the best thing for his mental health. But unfortunately, like I said, people have absolutely ruined his life and made sure that people think that he's some kind of dangerous predator, and he'd be unable to walk away because that's his income. So he's got to survive, hasn't he? Anyway, on that note, Tony, are we okay to end it here? Because I am spent.
Yeah, go ahead. Listen, Joanna, thank you for your time, but please, if you can, I'll leave this run for a further 15 minutes before we leave. And if you want, just come back in a message, or just let me know if he's willing to come in. And like you said, I doubt it, and you doubt it yourself, but the opportunity is available there. And I'll leave this run for about 15, 20 minutes until you get back, and let me know if you can, yeah? Thank you so much, Joanna. Joanna, I'm sorry if you felt like you were ganged up, and I've tried my best.
I did. I definitely.
I've tried my best to keep it fair. I even left a couple of boxes. I just want people out of the boxes, because I don't want people, coming at you every 2 seconds.
Tony, I've got to do the right thing in life, and I know that guy has been suicidal. I know that he absolutely has, and I know that we've had conversations for hours about how down he is and how he has no escape out of the life that he's got. And I wanted you to know that personally so that you don't add to that, because if he ever did, then, and you know, and things would turn on you, Tony. Everybody on this internet would turn against you. If he did something, they'd all blame you and say you sent him over edge, and they would, and you, that it's toxic, this app. And if anything happened to him, everybody and the dog would love him and say what a wonderful person he was, and everybody picked on him and bullied him. And that's what would happen if he did anything to himself. And I have no doubt that he had a plan. He had a plan that I had to talk him out of. He had a definite plan, and his mental health is very, very vulnerable.
So have you called anyone to?
Sorry, you've just gone off. It's just paused, Tony.
Sorry, if he's speaking to you and has a plan to do it unaliving himself, have you taken any steps to secure him?
Yes, I have supported him. I've offered him counselling. I have offered to sort of support him through all that kind of stuff. And he has. I'm not going to go into what he's had and what he hasn't had.
Yeah, well, the man making videos aimed at me doesn't seem to be someone that's bothered at all. Now, listen, for every action there's a reaction, and please believe me, yeah, it might take me a long time to react, but I do react. And I didn't like the 2 videos he aimed at this group, protecting children. We never mentioned his name. We never mentioned his name. He came at me first. I never came at him first. Now, with his video that he aimed at me, what if I had to do something wrong to myself? Would he have faced the consequences for my actions?
Yeah, it would have felt absolutely terrible. He's a very soft-hearted, sort of sensitive guy, really. He's very sarcastic. He's very passive-aggressive, and he tries to back things off with jokes. But he's very, very deep. He's a very sensitive person, and if he would think that he would cause anybody else some harm, like he would be mortified. So yes,
he's aimed. Listen, for someone who's trying to start a movement to help spread awareness, to help spread awareness on people that is a potential risk to children, and for him to make a mockery of that, I will never understand it. I will never understand it. And
I'm sorry if you feel that.
You can tell him from me that regardless what decision I make today, I am not holding no pressure on my shoulders regarding his situation. Can
I just say, Tony, if you travel country, I mean, you know, he goes from hotel to hotel and different place to different place because people target him. You're probably never going to find him. I'm obviously not going to tell you where he is. And no disrespect, because I don't want anything to happen to him.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Either. People are, you know, you've got gangs against you at the minute that are saying that you're terrible, you know, and there's things against him.
Yeah, of course. We all get it online. We all get it online.
I know you both, and I mean, me and you have never met, but we've had a lot of conversations, and I believe in my heart that you are a decent, lovely guy. And until I had any other proof, then that's how you'll remain.
100%.